We are exploring Europe on a bucket list adventure. We've ridden the gondolas in Venice, sailed in Corfu, swam in the sea in Dubrovnik, weathered the winds in Trieste, spent the day in a village in Split, and climbed the city walls of Kotor, just to name a few. It has been nothing short of epic, and our next adventure took place in Santorini, Greece. But little did we know things would take a turn for the unexpected.
Santorini, Greece. So today we have a really cool adventure. We are participating in a Greek OPA.
Which is basically what I can figure, kind of a food throwdown party. So, how can you go wrong with that?
It's 8 hours long though, so let's see how that goes. Now, one thing I would tell you is, as we are getting off the ship and getting into the port here, it is very apparent to me that it is super busy here. If you're gonna get an excursion anywhere, here's where you need to get one. I'm really glad that we have an excursion in Santorini because it seems like it's hard to get the cable car to get into town. There's a ton of people. They're only letting so many off of the ship at once because of what the port authority is allowing. So thankful we have an excursion. So we got on the tender, now we're heading over to
Santorini.
After we got off the tenders, we headed to a bus and got on a double-decker bus to our first stop. So our first stop is the village of Ia, the one with the blue roofs. It's apparently very Instagrammed. Ia is perched high on the cliffs overlooking the Santorini caldera, offering stunning panoramic views of the volcanic islands and the deep blue waters of the Aegean Sea. So Ia does attract a large number of tourists, which was a little bit challenging at first, but it does remain a relatively small village with a population of really only 1,000 residents, which is surprising considering how many people are there. So there's a lot of people here. Many of the buildings are built into the cliffside, making use of the island's volcanic landscape, and Ia's famous blue dome churches add to its iconic look. And of course, everyone wants to get a picture. Tourism is the primary industry in Oia, with a variety of luxury hotels, restaurants, and boutique shops catering to visitors. The streets are really cool here, and the architecture is beautiful, and you can see the ocean behind you, and they have some really cool restaurants right on the water, but it's just really busy and really crowded.
And they're saying that today isn't as busy as it can be.
So what we can tell, one of the biggest appeals in Santorini is taking selfies. It's kind of windy. And we lost our windscreen, so it's going to be really hard to hear. It's really beautiful here, and there are some really beautiful hotels and some beautiful places to eat right on the water. The water is gorgeous. If at all possible, I would definitely do a water tour as well.
Yeah, definitely a water-based tour. I think would even be even better.
I don't know if it's better because you want to experience this, but then if you could also do the water too, it's just so beautiful on the water. And I would like to do the volcano tour too, go and walk on the volcano. So there's several things that would be fun to do if you could be here for at least a couple of days.
On our way out, one of the locals told us to stop and try some gelato at Lolita's. 100% don't leave without doing that. Our next stop was the village of Pyrgos. Pyrgos was once the capital of Santorini before Fira took over in the 19th century. It has a rich history and you can still find remnants of its medieval past, such as the Venetian castle at the village's peak. Pyrgos maintains a classic Cycladic aesthetic with whitewashed buildings, blue dome churches, and narrow cobbled streets. It has a labyrinth-like layout designed to confuse pirates. And it confused us too.
See the ocean, how it sways in the sun. Keeping our stories in its motion. Lies the truth about us.
Meanwhile, back at the family compound, let's check in. We're getting house wrap. Is that what you call it? They're putting on the house wrap, and it looks like some fascia board. I am in Santorini watching a live feed of the family compound, watching them work on our house. So exciting.
Always watching. Always watching.
Meanwhile, back at the cottage, Coda's not there right now. We can watch him through the pet cam when he's not at Kenzie's house. But he's at Kenzie's. He only goes to the camper, to the cottage, when he has to eat, because he and Winnie, the other golden doodle, can't eat together. Winnie will eat all Coda's food, and Coda will let him.
Our next stop was a local place where we enjoyed some really good Greek food and a Greek opera. The last part of our adventure was a cable car ride down to the ship, or to the place where you would get on the tender. But it didn't quite work out that way.
We're now going to the cable car with 470,000 of our nearest friends. So we have cable car tickets, but the line is probably 2 hours long. So at the end of the night, and probably out of time, the line gets really long. So we're gonna walk. People are getting tense. People are getting tense and fighting. We're just gonna walk down the path, which will take us about 30 minutes.
ashamed of himself for it. The cable car line was ridiculous. That's 20 euros over the spent.
We're gonna take the donkey down to the ship rather than the cable car.
I asked him what was wrong, what was up with the long face, but he didn't answer back, so.
It was a little bit scary. This is just a little bit scary. Slightly. A little bit nerve-wracking because it's a long way down. So since we weren't able to get on a cable car, we had to walk down and they had donkey rides. We decided to opt for the donkey ride rather than walk it down because it's pretty steep. But I'm not gonna lie, they slip a little too. But they're doing good work. Getting us down. They're good workers. And there are the cable cars. And the donkeys come back up by themselves. We have to get all the way to the bottom. And we have come to the end. Good boy. Good boy. So we're walking just a little bit of the way down. We got off the donkeys and now we have a short walk down, but by taking the donkeys we skipped a lot of poop.
All right, so made it almost all the way down and then they had to get off. So we're just avoiding the donkey poop the rest of the way. We should be good to go.
He's running rings.
He is running rings.
We're trying to make it back to the port and to the tender before it leaves. All aboard is at 8 o'clock, but what time is it, Kev?
It's 8:25.
But it's 8:25.
I think all aboard is 9 o'clock.
No, last tender said 8 o'clock.
Use the handrails.
Onto my head. We're refugees. This thing's rolling. I hit my head 4 times getting in here. It's made for people that are 3 feet 6 inches tall. Finally leaving the dock, Santorini. In the boat that I've nicknamed Sweatshop.
Alright, so we made it back to the boat, and sometimes the things you are expecting to do, like the cable car, are not what happens, and it ends up even being better and a bigger adventure than what you anticipated. So get out there, have an adventure, do something that you don't expect, and when things don't go exactly right, just look for the silver lining, because there probably is one if you look hard enough. Have an adventure and
avoid the donkey poop. Just avoid the donkey poop on the road down of your adventure.
And be free. See you in the next adventure, which is Mykonos, Greece. Here's a tip for you. If the cable car is full, and it's going to be too long of a line, you can always either walk down, but that's a little steep. You can also take a donkey ride as long as you can get up on the donkey, and that's only 10 euros. If you don't like crowds, this is not the place for you. And here's a tip for you. If you forgot to bring your Instagram clothes, don't worry. There's a lot of places that you can buy an Instagrammable dress while you're up here. I don't know how much it'll be, but you can certainly do it. Another tip, look for Lolitas to get your gelato. It is amazing. Ask for it, find it. It's in Ia. Ask for it.